Okay, what we have here is restore number 78. It's a 1955 5.5 horsepower Evinrude. It is completely taken apart. There's a stern bracket. Every nut, bolt, all the rubber mounts, tilt bolt, gear and shaft, handle, lower cowling, Magneto rebuilt, carburetor rebuilt, new rope, handle painted, prop painted, power head pressure tested, gear case rebuilt. So this video is going to document the reassemble number 78, put back together. We'll see what she looks like when the video's over. Stay tuned. Here we go. Okay, I've got the stern bracket put together. With trim adjust placed in there. Both brackets put on. Lower unit attached to the stern brackets. So next step is going to be to put the handle, tiller handle, and the grip right here. Here we go on that. Okay, I'll place the pinion gear right there in the center of the rotation, and I'm going to drop in my gear and shaft. I'm gonna place my red washer. And now I'm gonna put my throttle pinion gear in. Okay, I got my gear and shaft in. Notice the gear matches up dead center with this gear, so when you spin it, the teeth catch perfectly. Alright, let's go with the tiller handle now. Okay, we got the handle on. Now we're going to put the gear case. We're going to stab the gear case through here, making sure to put the water tube connected into the grommet of the water pump, and have the shift rod come up through the handle right here and put the nuts on. That's our next step. Alright, I got the gear case stabbed. 4 bolts put in, and shift rod up here through the handle with 2 nuts put on it like it's supposed to be. Now we're going to check the shifting. So it's in neutral, and the gear, the forward, and the prop shaft catches. Reverse, prop shaft catches. Neutral, and she spins. So it looks good. Looks good so far. Now we're going to work on the power head, but before we do that, we're going to add all the power head gears here. First one is then we'll drop the spring retainer ring, and then we'll drop the spring, and we'll drop the washer and the gasket. Now, all the power head drive shaft are there. Now we're ready to start on power head. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble the power head on the bench right here, meaning I'm going to put the carburetor on, I'm going to put the Magneto on, I'm going to put the flywheel on, I'm going to put everything on. Then we're going to set the power head on the lower unit. So here we go. Okay, I got my carburetor mounted with the 2 bolts that it takes to put them on. Now I have 2 things to do. I have to hook the cam spring on the cam roller to the Magneto plate right there. That goes to the cam roller. And then I have to hook my levers to the throttle and the choke. Alright, so I'll do that now. Alright, so I got my cam spring attached, not to the retainer ring on the Magneto, but there's a hole on the carburetor manifold. And I got my levers set up. Okay, so now we're ready for the Magneto to be installed. Alright, I slipped my Magneto on. You have to pull out the cam out of the way to get it on, and you have to physically back off the points here so that it'll slip over the top. And there's 4 screws. One here, 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 and here. That you tighten down and make sure it's free and it's working the cam properly. Alright, so I'm going to wait and put my flywheel on later. It's ready to be mounted on the lower unit, but first thing before that I'm going to do, I'll put my lower cowling plates. Easier to get to do it now than later, so I'll do that now. Okay, I got the front half put on. There's 1 screw here and 2 screws underneath, 1 here and 1 here. Now we'll go for the back half. Okay, I got the back portion of the lower cowling put on. There's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so it's time to put the power head on, but I have gasket issues. Have that gasket on order, should be in a day or 2, so I'm going to wait to finish the video when I can replace that gasket. Stay tuned. While I'm waiting for my gasket, I'm going to show you a T-mic trick. So here's the dual fuel line holes for the dual fuel line tank. I'm converting to the single fuel line tank, with my fuel pump conversion, and that hose, single line hose, is bigger than the single line hose used back in the 50s. So I took my little handy dandy drill and I enlarged one of the holes. The second one in the back is the one I use because there's nothing underneath it that you can hit when you do the drilling. So I drilled this out now before the power head gets on so that I can run my fuel line through a bigger hole. Just a little T-mic trick that might help you. Okay, so my gasket came in. I've applied the gasket sealant to it. I use Loctite Aviation gasket sealant for my seals. I have this all wire brushed up on the lower unit, and the power head I've wire brushed it up. So I'm gonna put the gasket in the bottom section here, and I'm gonna put the plywood on, matching up the drive shaft portion to this portion. I have to put back in my spring and my washer. I'm also gonna apply a little grease, which will help avoid the power head getting stuck for the next person that's got to pull it off. Alright, so we'll put the gasket on and stick the power head on. Okay, got the power head dropped in place. A little T-mic trick I use is to take these DeWalt punches and locate the hole to line up the power head. And then there's 6 bolts that screw in underneath to bolt the power head. We'll do that now. Okay, we got the power head mounted. Now I'm gonna put the throttle control tower in, push it through the grommet, and make sure the in the pinion gear slotted properly. Now I'm going to add my clamps here to hold it in place. Okay, I got my throttle control tower in place. Now I'm going to attach the Magneto to the throttle lever and install the spring clip. And there it is. I've got spark plug wires, boots to put on. I've got to set the timing. I have another video that shows you how to set the points timing, and put the flywheel over there and the rewind starter on top of that, and should be ready to crank up. Looking really good. Okay, so I've got my boots put on, marked the top cylinder, which is this one. This cylinder. And I've also added my fuel connector and ran my fuel lines to the fuel pump conversion that I do. So from the fuel connector goes in here, pulse goes here, and out to the carb goes here. So next step, set the points. Here we go. Okay, I've got the points set and all the leads laid down, ready to put on the flywheel. Alright, flywheels have been placed on. 1955 5.5 horsepower Evinrude number 78. Now we'll put on the rewind starter. Alright, the rewind starter is on, and that baby has been reassembled. Hope you all enjoyed the video. We're doing it one motor at a time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Here at Team Bikes Vintage Outboards, we're doing it one motor at a time. Please click on subscribe. I guarantee to provide weekly videos. Au revoir mes amis, and laissez les bon temps rouler.